As usual, I speak in the name of my ancestors, the father of my country, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and my grandparents who taught me the ways of my ancestors. Last time we summed up, as part of our tutorial on my Constitution of Haitian idealism, Vilokan idealism, we summed up the different components of my philosophical system. So now we're building the philosophical system so you all can have a better understanding. So as we saw last week, Haitian metaphysics, vodou, Vilokan, produces Haitian epistemology, Haitian Vilokan idealism, and a form of system and social integration. Now I begin with Haitian vodou metaphysics as the starting point simply because slavery interrupted what I call the ever-increasing rationalization of Haitian vodou as a form of, as a philosophy and a science. Because vodou, our religion in Africa begins as a science. It's Western conceptions of religion that has interrupted our rationalization of our metaphysical system, so for me, we have to begin with Haitian vodou because we lack intellectuals to rationalize the system as was done in the West with Christianity. Descartes begins by rationalizing Christianity. So for me, we must begin to rationalize vodou as a metaphysical system, as a science. Hence, I begin the process with Haitian vodou because slavery interrupted that process. So I'm against the Afrocentric perspective that argues that the metaphysical, the sociological, the psychological system that would come out of our experiences as African people is Afrocentricity. That's foolishness. That's simply a standpoint theory seeking equality of opportunity and recognition with whites. It has nothing to do with our metaphysical system and our science. For me, our metaphysical system begins with vodou, and vodou says that God, and they use the language of God since the rationalization process had not completely begun yet, or the demystification process. God created the world as a parallel universe. So the world was created in two forms: the world of Vilokan, where the laws of geometry, the lois, the concept, the ideas that Haitian people must internalize and recursively reorganize as their practice exist, in the world of phenomena where we exercise the lois or the laws of creation that God created. So it's a parallel universe. It's the universe that was created, that out of itself created God, which is equivalent to the world of Vilokan, created the world of phenomena where we recursively reorganize and reproduce the concepts, the geometric laws, and the lois of Vilokan in the material world. Now I begin with Haitian vodou because there's a parallel argument in physics that has that same conception, and that theory comes out of string theory, which is called membrane theory of Lisa Randall and Rahman Sundrum, which was in an article produced in 1999, in which they argue that there is a five-dimensional universe, or a super universe. I call it a superverse in my article. A superverse that created our four-dimensional universe amongst a plethora of multiverses. Whereas Haitian vodou only speaks about a superverse, the world of Vilokan, producing just our universe, the world of phenomena. Lisa Randall and Rahman Sundrum, in their theory, there is this five-dimensional superverse that created our universe among a plethora of all other multiverses, and four-dimensional multiverses. Some of them may be three-dimensional, etc. So in my theorizing, I begin with Haitian vodou, go into Lisa Randall's membrane theory, and from there I begin my Haitian epistemological articulation. So what I argue is that, just like in Haitian vodou, which argues that there is a parallel superverse that was created, that created our universe, I also trace that into Lisa Randall's membrane theory and argue that the same processes Lisa Randall and Sundrum are actually correct. Or there might be, we haven't proven it yet, a 5-dimensional world out of which our universe is a plethora of multiverses, and within that 5-dimension, the fifth force of nature, on top of electromagnetism, the weak and strong nuclear force, and gravity, consciousness exists in the superverse and gets recycled within all of the multiverses. So consciousness is recursively recycled throughout the multiverses, and from there, hence we have consciousness. So the 5-dimensional world of our universe accounts for consciousness. Just like Einstein argues, for every dimension you add, there has to be something that exists in the material world that we can account for it. So when Einstein introduces a 5-dimensional universe in his general relativity, that's accounting for space-time. The 5-dimensional superverse accounts for the strong and weak nuclear force and consciousness for me, and which gets recycled in all of the multiverses. So you can see the parallel between Haitian vodou and this notion of a parallel world of Vilokan, a world of phenomena, where the laws or the concepts that creates the world of phenomena is recursively reorganized and reproduced, and membrane theory, which says there is a superverse which creates the 4-dimensional bubble universe we exist in among a plethora of multiverses, and within these multiverses, consciousness and the laws of physics are recursively reorganized and reproduced. And from there, I go into the Haitian epistemology and then system and social theory. So our next week's video will go into Haitian, from this parallel universe that was created. I go into the Haitian epistemology. So next week we're going to look at phenomenology, how phenomenology comes out of Haitian metaphysics. So that's this topic for this week. So next week we're going to look at the concept of phenomenology as it emerges out of Haitian metaphysics and the physics of Vilokan in the 5-dimensional universe.